So, welcome to this week's video. A day late. There was a lot going on yesterday, getting everything out after the owners' meeting. So, this might end up being one where, whenever there's an owners' meeting, the video will come on a Wednesday rather than a Tuesday. But I'll keep that in mind as we work through over the next few months and sort of see what works best. Um, but kind of the big stuff going on is it's the early behind the scenes stuff ahead of what will be next month's owners meeting. So the review of how do we structure the committee, because we need to get more people involved in volunteering to achieve the levels we want to achieve for the club, because it's not going up once is a significant challenge, because you go from the top end of park football to the bottom end of stadium football, and the gap is more drastic than going from the championship to the premiership. There is so many requirements that we can do. It's just going to cost a significant amount of money. So it's working that out. So there's kind of two big things that will happen at the March owners meeting. So you do not want to miss that one. There'll be a piece of work all around how we restructure the committee to get that right, to take us to the next step forward. And it will just be a consultation at that point. We're not going to vote and fundamentally change things overnight. It'll be opening up and saying, hey, this is what we think as a committee is the best route, because we've got our next committee meeting in 2 weeks' time. So we will finalise what we think's a good idea, and then we'll put that to owners for 2 weeks to say, hey, have a look at this, tell us what you think, because then we can take ideas, and there will be ideas that come forward that we think, oh, we haven't thought that, we can work that in there. So then we'll take that proposal as a vote to ownership we'll present it in March owners meeting. We'll take it as a vote in April, in whatever version it ends up in. But then at the same time, there's piecework all around the ground. How do we get all those developments in place? Because at the end of the day, the ambition is always going to be to go up. We will eventually reach a point where, can you ever go anymore? And that every club reaches that point, because let's be honest, East Thurrock is probably not going to be in the Premier League. Just stating the facts, unfortunately. So while we can all dream, who knows, if the Rock bought us, maybe everything changes. But it's one that you're at a point where you can develop it up. And the dream I'd love to see East Thurrock back in the National League South. But that's a long, 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 long way away. And it's those baby steps of, well, what do we need to get to that next level? So Jason is leading on that, doing fantastic work, and I cannot wait. He's going to bring that to committee, and then once we've gone through the first look at committee, we'll bring that to the next owners meeting. So do not miss the owners meeting at the first Monday of March. Get that in your diary. Make sure you're there. And yeah, look forward to taking that. And by all means, if you're not an owner, you won't be involved in the discussions and the vote of what happens with the stadium, where that long-term answer of who knows where we are. I'd love to get everything in place, but everything's on the table, because the goal is to progress this club and keep going. So looking at lots of interesting options, but things crossed, I would love to stay where we are and continue adding everything. It's always going to be plan A, but we just need to do the sums. What does plan A reasonably cost? Because then we can have those discussions and go, how do we get here? Can we get some funding? Can we get bits and pieces to do that? And we might manage that, but we need to know those answers. So year one, gone fantastically well. Lots of great work from Jono sort of on the committee of the football side, but everyone helping out there, the managers, the players. The fact that we're discussing there's possibilities of going up in the future is great. Year one was always a find your feet, especially when we ended up one league higher than initially expected. But if we can go into finish strong at the end of this season, which I think we will, with 5 in the league unbeaten, let's have that discussion of going, right, can we push up to the next level, and when can we do that? So yeah, make sure you're at that March owners meeting. Get that in your diary. You do not want to miss that one. But as always, I will see you on Saturday. It's a home game, 2:30 start. So this month, the game's moved to a 2:30 kickoff from 2 o'clock. And then once we get into March, they jump up again to 3 o'clock through to the end of the season. So 2:30, Alresford is the second time we play them. The first time was our first ever competitive game. So should be a cracking affair, and fingers crossed, make it 6 on the bounce and continue building this momentum in the league, which is going really, really well for us. So thanks so much for listening. Up the rocks, and we'll see you on Saturday.